I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, winner chicken dinner day. This is the Peddling Fiction Podcast. I'm your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. Back with me, as always, is Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. What's going on in the world of hillbillies over there? Anything good?
Oh, nothing too much. Road work everywhere, which is interesting because they're doing road work on all of the back roads that I live on. So, like, our road right out here just got paved. They're repaving, like, all the curvy, terrible roads that go from here into town. It's interesting to see that happening because, like, all of the main roads are absolute dog shit. So to have like nice roads out here in the country while all the main roads are still just completely terrible and almost impassable is kind of fucking nuts.
A little late to be starting road work too. Isn't it about to get cold?
They're doing like short stretches that they can have done in like 2 days.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like ripping stuff up and like doing long construction. They're going in and stripping down and then repaving short pieces of the road. So it's crazy that they could do that like very quickly and efficiently out here, and yet the highway has been under construction for 5 straight fucking years with no end in sight. I'd like nuts.
Yeah, they really tip their hand when they get stuff done pretty quickly. It's like, oh yeah, this isn't really that complicated.
Oh, dude, there's a railroad crossing that they were going to shut the railroad crossing down and divert traffic like around out into the country roads to get around so they could tear out and replace this railroad crossing. And then somebody in like the city council pointed out, hey, school starts tomorrow, and that's where all of the school buses come through. And they were supposed to have this road, like this rail crossing, shut down for the week. They got it done that day. So yeah, I was like, wait, if they could have had it done in a day, why were they going to take a week? It's the shit that you and I talk about. Like, there is absolutely no incentive to be efficient or to do stuff in a quick and timely manner for the government because like they have no competition. Like in this case, the only competition they had was like the entire school system being like, hey, like you're gonna divert all of our buses out into the middle of fucking nowhere for a week, the first week of school. They're like, no, that's not gonna happen. You get this. Like the only time the government has competition is when it's competing with itself for who's gonna be the least efficient, I guess.
Yeah. You don't want the teachers union putting all the pressure on the politician, right? It is. You know what's also amazing is just how low the bar is for government work. Like if the roads were to be privatized, would anybody put up with this kind of shit? And the second you would be like, oh, dude, these privatized roads, like they're under construction all the time, they're undrivable, blah, 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 blah. And like, well, who else is going to do it? The government? But they'll go to bat for the government no matter how bad of a job they do. It really is something. Nobody can envision a world where you just don't have shitty roads that take forever to repair.
Man,
Us crazy libertarians.
I had a dentist appointment this morning. I was 10 minutes late because the last time I went down that way, the roads were under construction and it was pretty bad. It's worse. I didn't think it was possible to have gotten worse in the last month and a half. It has gotten 10 times worse than what it was even then. I was like, I'm having some fillings and stuff done, and after I get done with this, I'm canceling all future appointments and I'm getting a dentist up here that's closer to home so I don't have to drive through that shit ever again. Like, I'm trying to not ever go back to Evansville for any reason. Gosh, they could nuke that thing into a fucking crater and I would be the dancing Israeli. Like, woo, let's do it. Anyway. Oh, did you see the thing that didn't exist? That somebody was saying that the dancing Israelis wasn't actually a thing. That was just a conspiracy theory. It's like, okay, there was like literally like multiple reports of it, but whatever. Cool. That's neither here nor there.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Dancing Israelis?
What? Okay, well, this is a whole other. This will have to be like a Friday night, like happy hour. We'll go into the dancing Israelis thing. I need Jim and probably Corey for this. Like, there's a lot to dig into with this. So, we don't have enough time on just a regular episode, especially when we got other stuff to talk about.
We are 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. Yes, too much banter. What are we talking about today?
Gosh, what do you want to start with? You know what? Since Corey's here, let's talk about the flag burning, because I think that's one that he would have a strong opinion on and would like to hear what we have to say about it. And that's one that's been getting kicked around a lot in libertarian circles over the last weekend. Trump signs executive order banning flag burning, warns those who desecrate the flag will get a year in jail.
And of course, this has historically been protected First Amendment rights. So he just put through an executive order?
Yep.
That was John Hancock there?
Yep. President Trump signed an executive order Monday meant to ban the burning of the American flag, an act currently protected under the First Amendment. If you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing, Trump said while signing the order. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, he added, claiming an action he took in his first administration to protect national monuments from being destroyed had a similar effect. The Department of Justice is ordered to probe all incidents of setting the stars and stripes ablaze and bring charges where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, White House Staff Secretary Will Scharf noted. The order authorizes Attorney General Pam Bondi to vigorously prosecute those who violate our laws in ways that involve desecrating the American flag. This may include, but is not limited to, violent crimes, hate crimes, illegal discrimination against American citizens, or other violations of Americans' civil rights, and crimes against property and the peace, as well as conspiracies and attempts to violate, and aiding and abetting others to violate such laws. So Thomas Massey had a strong post on this. He said, if you are burning your own flag, you are protected to do that. That is your property. You have the right to do with it whatever you want. That shouldn't be penalized. Now, if you are like ripping a flag down off of a government building, and that's another, then we can have the conversation. At that point, that is the destruction of property that is not yours. So
right.
Then,
and it doesn't matter that it's a flag. It could have been anything. Right.
So at that point, I could see it. But yeah, if you bought an American flag just for the purpose of burning it, then cool. You just gave money to the flag manufacturer and
right. You could have just lit your money on fire and saved the extra step.
Right. And we've already seen examples of where people have done stuff to gay pride flags and gotten sent to jail for it. So where was the libertarian screeching when that was happening?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I understand why people like Trump are like want to punish this behavior, but yeah, you really just gotta stand on principle here. You just like people can fucking destroy their own property if they want. You know, it's a really you have to look at the bigger picture, and I don't think it like does anything to persuade people. It's like, oh, that guy's burning the American flag. I also like now I hate America too, or something like that. Like in general, it probably like helps coalesce people around the flag.
Right. Whenever you see somebody burning an American flag, like regardless of how you feel about America, does that make you suddenly feel like, oh yeah, fuck America? Or is you like, oh, that's really cringe.
Yeah, you're usually like, ah, fuck that guy.
What the fuck is wrong with this
or
guy?
What an idiot. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you'll probably see if they actually enforce this, you'll probably will see a reduction in it. But again, it's just it has the opposite effect of what I think he's trying to go for. Now it's just a little more ammo for the people that this authoritarian fascist won't let you burn your own property. And yeah, you can't really. It's hard to argue against that, but yeah, it's just more ammunition for them to use against them. And if again, dude, it's just like any of those other things that if you let people know that it bothers you, they're going to do more of it. You know, if it was like, okay, yeah, go ahead, burn the American flag, I don't give a shit, then it loses a lot of its cachet.
If the left wants to fight something in court and take something to court, like challenge one of these executive orders, this is one that they could win pretty easily, because even Scalia and other justices have made arguments not in favor of black flag burning, but in favor of the constitutional protection of free speech to do so. So, like, this would be one of those, like, probably relatively easy wins for the left, but instead they're going to keep fighting against other stuff that, like, standing up for the worst people on the fucking planet and defending them instead of, like, trying to take easy wins. Like, they'll be out here getting, 2.5 million people to sign a petition to keep the guy that was here illegally since 2018, killed 3 people, shouldn't have been driving to begin with. 2 million people will sign a petition to keep him in the country instead of, actually trying to go do something about something legitimate that they could probably have an effect on.
And do we know how they phrased this petition? Did they just bamboozle 2 million people into signing this, or did they say like, yo, this guy is retarded, he doesn't speak the language, he doesn't understand road signs, and he beheaded he, I guess, inadvertently beheaded 3 people, making an illegal U-turn with a semi truck. I mean, even if he hadn't done that, even if he hadn't done something like that, it's still just like, yo, dude, he's here illegally. I don't understand the push to keep people that have violated that here. Like, there's plenty. What do we need him for? But in particular, do we really need people that are causing problems like this?
Well, so they're making the argument, it was a tragic accident. He made a terrible mistake, not a deliberate choice to harm anyone. They said so he faces 3 counts of vehicular homicide with up to 45 years in jail. They say the charges against him do not align with the circumstances of the incident. If literally any other truck driver did this, this is what they would be charged with. Like, this is they're acting like because he's an illegal immigrant, they're trying to charge him with something over the top. Like, as a truck driver, if you are responsible for the death of other people, you are going to be charged with vehicular homicide. That's part of getting that license, is you are now responsible, not just for yourself and the load that you are hauling, but also the safety of the other people around you, who you are supposed to be aware of the traffic laws and maintain control of your vehicle so as not to endanger them. And in the event that you kill them, you're going to be charged with homicide. That's how this works.
Yeah, right. I mean, the cops were giving him like field tests after the accident, and he got something like 2 out of the 10 questions right about like what the street signs mean. Like, he just doesn't speak the language, doesn't understand the road signs. Somehow he obtained this commercial driver's license.
We have experience with this firsthand. I and the guys that I work with have experience with this firsthand, literally on a nightly basis. As soon as they come onto the yard, they're given instructions and a map, and the map tells them everything they need to know, and they're given a phone number to call. They can't fucking read. They can't. Not only can they not read English that's written on the fucking instructions, they don't know how to read the map. Like, I don't know how these people drive from point A to point B. Everything is on their fucking phone. They tap in all of their translation stuff onto the phone. They tap in the address and the GPS. That's why you have, like, I know you don't live out in the country, but like out here in the country, we have big ass signs plastered everywhere that say your GPS is wrong. This is not a road for through traffic for trucks, because they just do whatever the GPS tells them, and then they end up cutting through a road that a semi trailer, an 18-wheeler, cannot fit down, and then they end up stuck. It's fucking retarded.
I don't know. I guess 2.2 million people. Well, if we're talking about Indians, that's not that many. But if we're just talking about America, and dude, like, what's the? Again, I guess I don't understand the impulse. Like, you wake up one day and you're like, I'm going to start a petition to keep this guy in the country. Again, like you said, the left always picks the worst candidates for their outrage. Like this, why are you going to defend this guy? Can we all just agree that people who are here illegally, that don't speak English, can't read or write or fucking understand visual signs, like the no U-turn sign's pretty fucking obvious. It's a U-turn with a fucking big red circle and a line through it. It's like, you don't even have to be able to fucking read that. It's like, why are we going to bat for this guy? You know? Yeah, rest in peace, George Floyd. It's like, dude, pick a better fucking candidate to make your argument. You could take the fucking guy at Home Depot or something that's just kind of trying to find some work under the table to feed his family. Okay, that's a sympathetic case. But this is not. This is a guy that's endangering the lives of anybody on the fucking road, and he killed 3 people. It is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And then on top of that, we have the first poster child for Trump's deportation regime. Was that, what's his name? Alvarez something?
Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Yeah.
The Maryland dad.
The Maryland man is back. He's back in the fucking news. Again, this was the like, oh, he's just a Maryland man trying to feed his family, and it turns out, no, he's a fucking gang member who had to flee fucking, was it Venezuela? No, it was El Salvador.
I thought it was Venezuela. He fled Venezuela, and then they were deporting him to El Salvador, and that was where they got all pissed off about it, because he was just an innocent Maryland dad who was trying to feed his family, was being deported to El Salvador, to these like concentration camps that they have there, which fair, good, okay, I have no problem with it.
That's right. Yeah.
And then remember that you had all the Democrats that like went
down there and like had margaritas with them.
We're going to El Salvador to like try to protest. Is like, y'all are really gonna like waste taxpayer dollars flying to fucking El Salvador to like pine for some dude that the only reason he was allowed to stay in the U.S. was because he couldn't go. Like they said they couldn't deport him back to Venezuela because the gangs were hunting him there. Like, what?
Yeah.
Really
Which makes you wonder. Yeah. Makes you wonder why the gangs are after him. And then, of course, we also found like at least 1 or 2 police reports of him like punching his girlfriend in the face. So it turns out Maryland man, not such a fucking jovial, great guy after all. And all of these fucking pussy Democrats made this whole ordeal. They went down there, like, I forget the guy's name. It was like, I'm going to have a margarita with them. It's just like, which again is just like fucking so patronizing and insulting. It's like, it's a margarita. It's like, dude, that's a Mexico thing, kind of. And he's Venezuelan. I don't know if they have margaritas in Venezuela. I doubt it. I don't think they have much of anything in Venezuela these days. But so, okay. So what's the update now? Because I know he got like a stay and then somehow he made it back in and now he's being deported again.
The government stated last week that the criminal illegal alien was ordered to report to ICE's Baltimore field office on Monday. He refused a deal to serve his sentence in Costa Rica. So now he is going to be deported to Uganda.
All right. Have fun over there, buddy. Have fun over there. Yeah, wife beater. Oh, yeah. Well, they accuse him of human trafficking. Yeah, I guess. But we were unclear as to whether or not that was like human trafficking in the sense that most people believe when they hear it versus just crossing the border illegally.
Right, like Epstein Island or like coyotes. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right. All right. Again, they are 0 for fucking infinity on their poster childs for every anti-Trump fucking
Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, George Floyd, Kilmar Abracio Garcia, the Pakistani truck driver. Like, just keep picking losers. I mean, holy shit!
Yeah.
They're like the inverse Kramer of social justice heroes.
It's amazing. You would think like after the 50th time you jumped to conclusions and you were like you had egg all over your face, they might vet somebody before they just take up the cause. Oh, the guy that remember the dude that stabbed the other fucking student. They raised like millions of dollars for his defense. Like,
did he
just murdered a kid?
Has he had his trial? He was being tried as an adult. The last I've seen. I don't know how.
I don't know, but I remember he bought that fucking house cash.
Yeah,
with his fucking GoFundMe money.
Yeah, they raised like $1.9 million for him.
Yeah, and they immediately blew it. It really is like just. Again, and then they try to act like they have this moral high ground over everybody else. And it's just like, what are you talking about? You support literally the biggest scum on the face of the earth. And you try to act like they're fucking saints. It's infuriating. It's despicable. I don't understand how they think they have a fucking leg to stand on. And these aren't like principled stances either. It's not like, oh, like the flag burning thing. It's like, yeah, no, dude. I just remember when they were taking over apartment complexes. Yeah. And that fucking chick was just like, well, it was only these 2.
Yeah, it was just like 2. It was just 2. It wasn't like they were taking over the whole city. It's like, okay, they took over 2 apartments. Yeah, because they were interviewing JD Vance, and he was like, you do realize you just admitted that they are actively taking over apartment complexes and successfully have done so twice, and you're defending that? Like, are you even hearing what you're saying?
Yeah. But no, apparently they don't.
I think I think that was the moment that MSNBC decided, or that NBC decided we need to like get rid of MSNBC. Like, this is embarrassing. We can't be associated with them anymore.
Figure out a way to spin off the ugly broke ass sister.
It's like, hey,
Sister
y'all don't
network.
have to have a name change. Like, we can't be associated with y'all anymore.
MS Now.
Did we talk about that Friday?
I don't think so. Most assuredly, no one's watching, I think is what it stands for. So, yeah, and NBC caught their limit of MSNBC horseshit, and that really says something. That really says something. I mean, but these are the problems that you get yourself into when you view everything through the lens of just like people of color and like oppressed versus oppressor. It's a retarded lens to look at the world through. Like it's just so stupid, and it gets you into all sorts of problems. Like being wrong every single time. So anyway, we'll see what happens to the Maryland man once he's in Uganda. Is the family going with him, or are they separating him from his children?
I assume they're separating him from his children.
Well, feel bad for the kid.
But I mean, it doesn't seem like
they're going to grow up without their abusive father.
It doesn't seem like the wife or the girlfriend or whatever has any of those problems. So, like, is she here legally, or is she an American citizen? Maybe.
Yeah, not sure, but she's hanging around with fucking gangbangers, siring their kids, and filling out police reports when they beat the shit out of them, and then taking it back for a fucking little payday. I'm sure they gave her some fucking money to try to take all that back. Yeah, these people are. No, that's what they use. They use all those fucking slush funds that they. Did you see that? The DNC is gonna keep paying off Kamala Harris's debt from the campaign.
How much do they owe still?
I don't know, but they're gonna pay it off for her. It was at least 20 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was crazy. They like the campaign raised like $8 billion, and then somehow still had 25 to 35 million in unpaid debts at the end of the campaign. It's like, what happened to all the fucking money? Where'd it go?
Nobody knows. But I'm sure every penny of it was accounted for. There are no bookkeeping errors that will be charged as felonies. 34 felony counts for paying off people or anything like that. So
I'm sure.
Yeah. And speaking of, Trump is on the warpath of retribution, going after his political enemies, Justin.
Good. That's what I would voted for. Not all this like letting Israel get away with everything and not ending the Ukraine war. I voted for going after political enemies. That's like, you can't give Trump power. He'll just use the courts to go after his enemies. I'm like, that's exactly what I want. I want to see more of that.
So this is him talking about the FBI raid on Mr. Bolton's place.
They'll brief me probably today sometime. I don't want to. I tell Pam and I tell the group, I don't want to know, but just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer, but I feel that it's better this way.
I love his hat.
So is that why they came out with? I saw the Gavin Newsom hat. It was like the same, but it's just Gavin Newsom was right about everything.
They don't have an original fucking thought in their heads, do they? Like, they just try to counter signal everything Trump does, and it just makes them look pathetic.
Yeah, well, especially when you haven't been right about anything. Like, what can Gavin Newsom point to that he was right about? But anyway, I thought this was the way the media is going after Trump for this is is pretty funny to me. First of all, Bolton isn't really like a political enemy. Like, he's not a politician.
Right.
I mean, he's an enemy, but not really like, he's not like threatening to like run against Trump or something like that. But the allegations are that he leaked classified material. Again, it's always the fucking things that they accuse Donald Trump of doing that they are guilty of themselves. But then it's like, oh, this is political retribution. But they never seem to mention what it's retribution for. Because, those 34 felony counts, that was all above board. It's like, oh, so why is Donald Trump going after these people? What did they do? They were just standing there and Trump's like, oh, I hate that guy, so I'm going to go after him? Or what?
Right.
And they don't want to talk about what it's retribution for.
$454 million in fines for doing totally legal business deals with banks.
Right. Maybe that has something to do with it. It's like they can't even just cover like both sides of the story. Just be like, this is what they did to him, and now he's going after them for these things.
Well, like they raided Mar-a-Lago after they were there 3 days before, verifying that all of the documents that they claimed he had illegally. The FBI was at Mar-a-Lago making sure that everything was stored and secured properly 3 days before they raided the place because he had stuff like what?
Yeah. Well, then they staged those photos to make it look like it was classified information. Like they put like classified like piece of paper over top of it that just said classified on it.
Yeah.
It was all bullshit. It's just incredible that they tried. Like, how can you try to play that card after all the shit that they pulled the last 4 years? And they're just going to shameless be like, oh my God, this is just authoritarian dictator fascist stuff. He's going after political enemies. It's like, well, he's payback, a turnabout's fair play kind of thing. The one thing I thought was pretty interesting as far as like, yeah, clearly he's going to go, like, I would go after Letitia James too, if she tried to fuck me like that. He went after, her, I think her name is Cook. She's one of the Fed. She works for the Federal Reserve. She's being accused of mortgage fraud as well.
So Hunter Biden's lawyer claims that Trump has no authority to fire the governor or the governor of the Fed. Let's see. Lisa Cook is the Federal Reserve governor, and she hired Hunter Biden's lawyer to represent her. They say that he attempted to fire her based solely on a referral letter, which lacks any factual or legal basis, and they'll be filing a lawsuit challenging the action. President Trump purported to fire me for cause when no cause exists under the law, and he has no authority to do so. I will continue to carry out my duties to help the American economy as I have been doing since 2022. She falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms.
Yeah, she's doing the same thing that Letitia James did. She said a second residence was her primary residence. Which, I mean, this has to be like the most common form of mortgage fraud. Clearly, among all these politicians and government workers that apparently can afford multiple homes, must be nice. But they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the secondary resident mortgage rate. They want to get that nice primary residency mortgage rate. But I mean, Trump, if you guys have been paying any attention, Trump has been going after the Fed hard about a rate cut that he thinks they should be giving, and he hasn't been getting it. And so it just seems like this more so than because the Fed didn't really do anything to Donald Trump. Like you can't really blame the Fed for any of the things that happened to Trump legally, but clearly they're looking into all these fucking members of the Fed and trying to find some dirt on them to put pressure on them to get a rate cut. And I think based on Powell's statement the last week on Friday that he is going to capitulate, and it seems like a September rate cut is on the table. But this, like, very few people are talking, like, they frame it as like a racism thing. It's like, oh, he's going after the black woman. Or it's like, no, he's just going after anybody that serves on the Fed that he can apply pressure to, I think.
Yeah,
again, they just have to make it a color thing.
If there's something to be dug up on you, then he's going to exploit that to get rid of you. And it just so happens that there are certain ones that seem to be engaged in shady practices.
Yeah.
I mean, coincidence or not, you know.
Yeah, but I think of all the moves Trump is making, this is the one where this is going after political enemies to get something that you want. The other ones were payback for shit that they, like, clearly illegal shit that they did. And I'm all for them getting their comeuppance. I don't know if this chick fucking really deserves to be kicked off the Fed, but yeah, I don't really care for her in general. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this, but it's just like, this to me seems like the clear-cut case of him abusing his power. And yeah, I don't know if he has the authority, like, because the Fed's supposed to be this separate entity, right? We can't possibly, we got to keep those separate, even though he gets to appoint the chairman of the Federal Reserve and it gets confirmed by fucking Congress and all this shit. But anyway, I'm sure it's just because he's racist. He just, old Whitey, he sees a successful black woman buying a second house and he just can't accept it. Oh man, these guys are such fucking clowns, dude. Such fucking clowns. Anyway, let's get a few more things I think on the docket, but maybe we should take a second and thank our sponsor for today's show. The Expat Money Summit, October 10th through the 12th. Don't forget to sign up. Reserve your free ticket today. You just go to expatmoneysummit.com. It's an online summit, absolutely free. Ron Paul's going to be there. Tom Wood's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of great speakers talking about how you can increase your freedom, your liberty, diversify your portfolio abroad, maintain or obtain second residencies, citizenships, all that good stuff that we are, well, at least I am a big proponent of. And they're going to be working on Latin America this year, where they think there is a lot of good opportunities south of the border. So go check them out. It's going to be October 10th through the 12th. Absolutely free to go. I think you can buy VIP tickets if you want a little extra content. But yeah, it's a great little event that they put on, and Mikkel's been a great supporter of the show. So go support what he's doing. And a couple dear friends of the show actually work for him. Mark Clare, formerly of the Lions of Liberty, he's over there at Expat Money. Another friend of mine works for them as well. So they're doing good work over there, and they really know their stuff. Go check them out. All right. What else we got here?
Oh, speaking of potentially illegal stuff Trump's doing, I don't know if it's illegal or not, but it definitely doesn't set a good precedent. Trump on Truth Social posted, "It is my great honor to report that the United States of America now fully owns and controls 10% of Intel, a great American company that has an even more incredible future. I negotiated this deal with Lip Bhutan, the highly respected chief executive officer of the company. The United States paid nothing for these shares, and the shares are now valued at approximately $11 billion. This is a great deal for America and also a great deal for Intel. Building leading-edge semiconductors and chips, which is what Intel does, is fundamental to the future of our nation. Make America great again. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Yeah, so this is one of the worst things Trump has done, in my opinion. Like, we paid nothing for. So Intel, just out of the kindness of their heart, gave the U.S. a 10% stake in their company. I'm sure there were no fucking strings attached to that, no shady shit going on. And I mean, I don't understand how this is even how this could possibly be done. There's no constitutional authority to do this. This is like a just absolutely terrible precedent to set the government taking 10% plus stakes in companies. Like, I don't know, like, who knows what Trump promised these guys on the back end. But this is again, and nobody seems to be talking about this really. I mean, I guess in some financial circles, maybe, but like, this is like, like, if Joe Biden were to take a substantial stake in a private company using the force of the government, or the threat of the force of the government, I think everybody in a MAGA hat would be like, oh my God, this is communism. This is socialism. The government is seizing the means of production. But I don't know. Maybe people are talking about this. I haven't really heard much about it outside of like a couple of financial things that I follow.
I don't know how I feel about this necessarily. I don't think it's the beginning of socialism any more than I thought in 2009 when the U.S. effectively took over GM and Chrysler, that was the beginning of socialism. It's not a good precedent to set. It's not good for government to be directly influencing and having a large stake in private business. But the Intel thing is 10%. And I'm sure there are probably some, you make sure we get what we need first before anybody else does kind of a thing. But like the GM Chrysler stuff, like, that was, gosh, what was it was like over 50% of their market cap, or of their market share, was basically floated by the U.S. government at the time. Like, the U.S. government had effectively full control of GM and Chrysler for the better part of a decade. And like, do you think that didn't influence how the auto industry behaved and moved on certain things, like electric vehicles, like a lot of this extra automation and bullshit that's built into the cars for tracking purposes and stuff like that? Like, I was a lot more concerned about that, and am still a lot more concerned about the U.S. influence on the automotive industry than I am about the Intel thing. I get it. It's not a great thing, but I think there are a lot worse instances of this thing going on that we don't talk about or pay attention to. The airline industry, like, airlines are heavily run by the government as well. Like, there's a lot more egregious examples of the government having way too many fingers in the pie of big business that aren't the Intel thing. Like,
but like you said, how often do we complain about the airline industry? Like, it's kind of the camel's nose. Like, they're dipping their toe into another industry that they could easily fuck up, and they're picking winners and losers. That whole kind of thing. Like, what does it do to the competition if the government has a 10% stake in Intel? It's just it's fraught with potential disaster. But there's a reason he went this route and not like some other not like an oil company or something like that, because there is a lot of concern over these the production of these chips and things like that the government needs for military purposes and things like that. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I feel like Donald Trump's getting a pass on this one. It's just, I don't understand how he can do it. And there's just no, but again, like the left just doesn't, because there's no minority on the other side of this story. They're just not interested in it. It doesn't fit the oppressor, people of color fucking thing. So they don't care. But you start, somebody else gets elected and then they can, they're like, well, Donald Trump took a 10% stake in this. We can take a 10% stake in like some green energy company or whatever. We do not want the government to get involved in anything else. Like literally they're already involved in way too much, and starting to get involved in fucking investing in companies. Please don't. And I don't know if there's any way that you can fucking reverse that deal. Like I just don't understand how that's even fucking possible to do. I remember every time I would fill something out financially, they would ask me if I had like a 10% stake, 10% or more in some sort of company, because there's conflicts of interest and things like that. But yeah, I guess Teflon Don, he can just do it. I don't think it really helped the Intel. I don't know how Intel stock is doing, but now that we have a 10% stake, I don't think they're going to let it go to zero, are they?
When was that announced?
I think probably Friday. Thursday. It was late last week, Thursday or Friday, maybe.
Let's see. As of on Thursday, they were ticking in at around 23 and a quarter, and opened on Friday up. So I'm assuming the announcement was made Thursday. It went up about $1.25.
What's do we have the date on his truth? 8/22.
Okay, so
it was Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so it was Friday when it was announced. So it took a nice little jump, and then it's down a little bit on the week, but still above where it had been prior to the announcement. So
yeah. Well, I think everything rallied on Friday, but I don't know. I just I don't like this move. This is one in a series of things that Trump's been doing lately that's going to get a pass from his supporters, but there's a whole wing of like the MAGA crowd that's like so afraid of China that like they'll support the government doing anything to kind of go after them.
And that's so insane. Like I don't know if we've talked about it on this show or not, but like China has so many problems of its own, like it's both socioeconomic and like internal financial crisis stuff going on. Like China as a global player is in really good shape, but China's internals are really, really bad. Infrastructure, lots of socioeconomic stuff, a lot of financial problems within the populace of the country, especially in the large, like big cities and stuff. And like they got a lot of shit going on. They are not the global powerhouse that a lot of the China hawks make them out to be.
Yeah. That's again. I mean, it's just so funny that we just keep bouncing back and forth between like China and Russia, and it's just like, yeah. I think both sides are just kind of fucking fear mongering to get whatever they want. I don't know how much longer the American people are going to figure it. Like, when are they going to figure this out?
The Cold War never ended. They just pretended it did, so, for publicity.
Yep.
Speaking of publicity, we can go into more depth with the to close out the show of the NBC name change. We've teased it a couple times, but haven't actually looked at it.
MS Now.
Cable's MSNBC will change its name later this year as part of a corporate divorce from NBC. They will become MS Now. What was it that MS Now stands for? It's what is it that it actually stands for? Where's the graphic? There it is. All right, and look at the graphic for this. Like their logo and shit. This was like super low energy. MS Now, my source, News Opinion World.
Okay.
And there were people that were making fun of it because the little flag kind of looks like it's the shape of a P, so it's like PMS Now, which is perfect for a Rachel Maddow-led station.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and they're trying to build this as like a good thing. Like they literally got dumped by NBC. They got fucking dumped, and they're trying to say like, oh, it was a mutual. This is a mutual decision to break up, and it's like, no. Your numbers are fucking terrible. You're embarrassing the parent network or whatever on such a level that they just can't take it anymore. I wonder, like, is Rachel Maddow going to have to take another pay cut?
They will remove
cut her down to 20 million.
They will remove NBC's peacock symbol from their logo as part of the change. The name change was ordered by NBC Universal, which last November spun off a bunch of other cable networks into its own company called Versant. So NBC took, let's see, it was USA, MSNBC, E, Oxygen, and the Golf Channel, and just bundled all them together and made them their own thing. It's like, you are now your own thing. We are going to be a separate entity from you. And this happened in November. This happened after the election, as a matter of fact. Like, I think NBC was one of the first ones to figure out when they declared Trump the winner, that like maybe we need to get our shit together and realize that we're part of the problem. Who was it? One of the guys that was doing and I know I've talked about this before, like one of the guys that was doing election night commentary, like right after they called it, everybody else on the stage was like crying because Trump won, and like shows how racism and misogyny are so prevalent in America and everything. And he was like, we're the reason. He said, we're the reason Trump won. He said, we treated all of these minorities and stuff like voting blocks instead of treating them like real human beings. It was like, we are responsible for this. And like, they didn't let him talk anymore after he said that, and he got fired within a week. But then by the end of the month, NBC completely like spun off all of their more radical branches and started to move in a direction of, hey, like maybe we should try to report news and be a little more reasonable and moderate with the way we do stuff instead of just being a left-wing talking platform.
Yeah. It would be a rare moment of self-reflection from the corporate press if that's the case.
It says, breaking news, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just got engaged. Your Twitter feeds are going to change for a bit. Just a heads up. I can assure you that my Twitter feed will not change at all because I have managed to purge all things Taylor Swift and replace them with translated Hitler speeches.
I don't think I ever see any Taylor Swift or Kelsey stuff, so I'm probably good. I don't know what that guy's thinking, dude. Taylor Swift is very, very, well, mid. Does he really need the money that badly?
Maybe he's in love, dude.
Right?
It's true love.
All right.
Jim, you don't want to learn these ways. They get you on a lot of watch lists.
Yeah. Yeah, you also get pulled aside by HR.
Yeah, you get pulled into HR with screenshots laid out on the desk, and there's a lot of hurdles you don't want to jump through to be able to not ever see Taylor Swift on your feed
Oh
again.
my god, dude! If anybody laid out screenshots of my social media,
It took everything I had not to laugh out loud.
yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure they'd have just fired me on the spot if I'd just been like,
yeah. It's like, this is what you guys are doing with your fucking time.
Got anything else to talk about today? Doing with our time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. Did I send you anything else?
No, we covered everything. Are there for some
Shithole
reports
Chicago.
coming out? Are there some reports coming out later this week?
No, this is a slow financial news week. Well, I guess we get unemployment claims on Thursday and the GDP, preliminary GDP. And then we get core PC price index on Friday. So I guess it's slow until Thursday. Pick up. We'll get unemployment claims. They're forecasting 231,000. We shall see how that goes. I'm gonna buy a jet ski today, right after this.
I feel like the Dr. Manhattan meme. It's June and Johnny is buying a jet ski. It's July and Johnny is buying a jet ski. It's August and Johnny is buying a jet ski.
No, nothing unless I get fucking robbed on the way there. This should go through. But I've had to pull out a shit ton of cash because this guy refuses to deal with banks, apparently. So
My teenage self loves this guy already.
yeah, really is fucking. Oh, he's made it so difficult. He's made it so fucking difficult.
That's how you know it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I had a mechanic check it out. Got a clean bill of health. It's only got 28 hours on it, so basically a brand new ski. Question is, am I going to take it out for a spin today? We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I guess I'll be back on Friday.
As long as you don't wreck your jet ski and kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have like emergency contact stuff set up down there for like if something happens to you? Like,
no.
Do you want me to?
I think Pollo Felice would be concerned if I didn't show up tonight and get my chicken.
Give him my number. Be like, if there's ever a Tuesday when I don't show up, call this guy and tell him something's wrong.
Yeah, that would take. It would. Well, I mean, the security might worry about me.
I'm just saying, like, as many run-ins as you've had since you've been down there with different crazy shit, like maybe somebody on a just throwing it out there, especially now that you're gonna have a jet ski, like could potentially wipe out and kill yourself. Like,
I'm an excellent driver. How dare you? How dare you?
it's like I tell my son, I'm not worried about your driving. It's the other people that are out there that concern me.
Yeah, like fucking Pakistanis.
That's right.
Although it did, in his defense, it did seem like that minivan had pretty slow reaction.
I mean, he cut from the far right-hand lane just across, like, to hit this U-turn.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, you couldn't really. It just didn't look like they slammed on their brakes or anything. It was just
I don't know that it does any good at that point.
Probably not. But we will be back on Friday with a brand new episode. Until then, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.